Moving on to the next presentation, we have Adani Vizhinjam Port Private Limited's vision for transforming Vizhinjam into a global maritime hub, inviting the Chief Executive Officer, Adani Ports, Shri PRANAV Choudhary, for the presentation on future roadmap deliverables for 2030 and beyond. Shri PRANAV Choudhary, the CEO of Adani Ports. So please.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for your presence here. Thank you for coming down to the southernmost part of India, Vizhinjam. It's a pleasure to be involved into the development of this project. An enormous effort by the Adani Group. We're very happy to see the light of the day. We're very happy to put, as Honorable Dr. Tharoor mentioned, to put Vizhinjam back into the world map, maritime map. So tremendous effort. What we will look at here is a bit of timeline. So we started in 2015. The journey sort of ended us in 2024, where we commissioned the first phase of the terminal. The first phase is about 800 meters quay length, 1.5 million TEU capacity. Although the nameplate capacity is about 1.2 million, but with the semi-automation, I think we'll ramp it up. Okay, we'll ramp it up to about 1.5 million. The trial operation started in July, and then the commercial operation started in December of the last year. Few laurels there on the bucket. So we are blessed to have about 18 meters draft, the deepest terminal in India. It's alongside the world's fastest moving shipping lane, so shipping route. So we've had MSC, courtesy our friends from MSC, the largest ships coming about 400 meters length, coming to Vizhinjam at a short span of time. We've got vessels which have exchanged 10,000 TEUs, 10,000 boxes, which is a very rare feat in India. And so till date, we've done more than 100 vessels, by the Jan end. The expectation is that we would do about 150 odd vessels and complete about 300,000 TEUs of handling the containers. So that's a 7-month journey for us. In addition to that, it's very heartening to say that this is South Asia's first semi-automated terminal. As Dr. Divya was mentioning, that the human interface is very limited, not because of a labor cost issue, but because we wanted to take the challenge of trying to do a semi-automated terminal in India. In the world over, if you see, you can count on your fingertips the semi-automated terminals which are successful, right from Busan to Los Angeles on America, on the US East Coast. There are very few semi-automated terminals that are successful. At Vizhinjam, we are very happy that about in 3 to 4 months' time, we've been able to place the semi-automated terminal fully operational and fully integrated. This would show you the phase 1 that we've done right now. There's 800 meters container berth, the backup yard, container yard, and this is for the facility. There are 8 key cranes, there are 18 CRMGs, all remotely operated. There is no operator on the cranes, all sitting in control rooms, a mix of male, female gender, which is operating in the control room, sitting in a very comfortable environment. Now, this is what we've put on the map here. If you see on the right-hand side, Vizhinjam today connects Far East to Far West, right? To Guangzhou, Shanghai on the Far East level, to Busan on Korea, to Southeast Singapore, to Africa, Gulf, to the Europe, Rotterdam, Flexito, to the Africa, West and East Coast. So we've got connectivities right now established over 6 months in all these places, which then connects to Indian ports as a transshipment feeders from Vizhinjam into the West Coast, Nhava Sheva, and into the East Coast at Kachupalli, Gangavaram, and Haldia. So very robust ecosystem already set in. That is actually a response to, I must say, the location advantage that we have for Vizhinjam. What we want to do beyond phase 1 is actually develop another 1,200 meters, so that combined key length would be about 200,000 meters, so which will enable us to berth in 4 large ships together or multiple small ships together. We would have an extra backup area. Then, in addition to the container, we also would do non-container business where we would do liquid cargo. There will be a tank farm that will come in. There will be a warehousing zone that will come in. So all of that coming as part of phase 2. We are committed to deliver this phase 2 by December 2028. So another 3 years of job left with us. And as part of phase 2, when we go beyond phase 1, the connectivity would get further integrated and multiplied, manifold. So you would end up serving, hopefully very soon to the American continent as well, to Australia, Oceania as well, and integrate the transshipment to further places in India. What we also want to do as part of immediate next 2 months is, start doing an OD cargo or import-export cargo from Vizhinjam, which will not only bring in additional revenue to the state exchequer in terms of allocation of customs duty, but it will also, it will also bring in much needed respite to the exporters from India, from South India region, where today a lot of the cargo or the containers which move, they get transshipped either at Colombo or Singapore or Dubai or Salalah. And if you have a large vessel coming in and they carry these boxes, from an exporter perspective, you can save the banking cycle about 15, if you save transit time of 15-20 days for them, avoid transshipment. It not only saves the cost, but it also saves the banking cycle. So imagine for the same working capital, if he's able to do more business, there is a huge opportunity cost for this, which actually cannot be calculated. Another opportunity we're looking at is trying to build this model of a sea-to-air transshipment hub. Right now it is only sea to sea, but we have an airport next to us at Trivandrum, which is an international airport, and a lot of large airlines, including Emirates, Cathay Pacific, they run this business where they would airdrop a container or a cargo. It's stuffed into containers and then it is transshipped to the nearby locations. It gives a speed, it gives you connectivity to, it gives a speed to the connectivity, it gives you ability to reach hinterlands where your air cargo may not reach that fast. So this is also something that is on paper, on active consideration. This is what we just spoke about. So Bangalore and South today, if you take gateways Vizhinjam, which we're very confident it would happen sooner or later, it would end up saving tremendous ocean freight cost and the transit time for the importer and exporter, which would then help them to do more business within the same working capital. Now, from a industrial cluster perspective, I think I must thank the state government, the government machinery here. There's a lot of, you heard from Divya Madam, you'll hear from Hanishwar. There's a lot of effort from the state government to capitalize on the opportunity that Vizhinjam Port will present. The port, traditionally, if you see historically from a mankind perspective, growth has only been witnessed with 2 places, one at the source of water, one at the source of trade, where there are ports. Britishers came into India, they first landed in Surat, they landed then in Kolkata. We would recognize that Vizhinjam would be that turning focal point for that opportunity in Kerala, state of Kerala. So I think the government is responding very proactively on that and trying to build industrial corridors, growth corridors, do land acquisition. So our appeal to all the August gathering here is to identify opportunities of, there are areas of food processing, electronics, apparels, logistics and consolidation hubs. We would not be able to have a large land in and around Vizhinjam to give large industries, but wherever you need 10, 20 acres of land parcels for food processing, electronics, apparels, and consolidation hubs, that would be possible. So our appeal would be to go and to come to either to us, we can connect you to the state government, right people, or you can connect with the government directly. and identify opportunities which will make this ecosystem more alive. Yeah, that was it. Thank you.